everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of the SquadCast. Today we are going to be discussing chapter 95, and we also have a cool segment about weird headcanons that we have. I'm your host, Matea, and aka Maddie, or I go by Matea or Maddie on the internet. And I'm joined by Grace.
Hi.
Seuss.
Yep.
And we have 2 new people joining us tonight. Would you please introduce yourselves?
Yeah, I'll go. My name's Tay. My social media accounts is pretty much every site is Big Fangs with a Z on the end instead of an S. And I'm most frequent on DeviantArt and stuff, so that's where I'm mostly at. My favorite character is Shammy, and I'd say that the only ships I'm really into, because I'm not much of a shipper, but I'd die for Rinshi and Shie. I don't know how to say the chopped up version of Shamy's name. And my favorite arc, I think, is the Inari one, but it was the Impure King one for a long time, so it's all good.
Okay. And guest number 2.
That's me, I guess. Oh my gosh. My name is Omen, and I'm only ever on Tumblr or Twitter. My Tumblr is @Lucifer, and my Twitter is Big Bro Lucy. My favorite characters obviously include Lucifer and Lewin, and literally every single demon ever. And I guess my favorite arc would just be what's happening currently. And that's everything.
Alright. Thank you both for introducing yourselves. We are going to get started discussing chapter 95. So, the Viz translation came out today, and we have all read it. What are your overall thoughts on chapter 95, everyone?
Okay, so X-Wires are screwed. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
He was a little shit.
I'm dead. And crying.
I'm crying. I mean, I'm pretty scared at this point. It's not, at first I was worrying for, just one character, and that was Yukio for a while, because he was the one that was kind of, doing things on his own. But because of that, everyone else got involved, and now everyone's basically a criminal at this point. So it's kind of interesting to see what these little teenagers are gonna do.
So I guess this is going to affect everyone's chances of becoming an exorcist. So
Yep.
They're all banned.
They're all gonna be fugitives together.
Yep.
New faction.
So
I am really happy about what's happening though, because it kind of is starting to look like that this is gonna turn to a bigger thing, and it's gonna go back to where all the characters are in the spotlight and doing their own thing, and
Yeah.
kind of how in the Inari arc and the Impure King arc, how they were all running around, but they were all in their group and they're all doing things and everything. I'm kind of glad because it looks like it's shipping up to that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for Shima, I don't know what he's doing, because he's kind of watching.
he's
That's
just
normal, though.
he's just being a little shit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Just
his
kinda
occupation.
Will he get in trouble for being a witness? Being is he gonna tattletale? I don't know.
I mean, he's already in a bunch of deep shit, so
True.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
oh no, go ahead.
Okay, so let's talk about Shura a bit, because she was in the chapter quite a lot. So now she knows about Yukio's eyes, and I think she's the first one to find out of everyone. Besides Mephisto, who already confirmed that he knew, so... And
Only this happened 50 chapters ago, where Shura actually knew what was going on, because she always had a hunch, but she never knew, and now it's too late.
Yeah. Yeah. think because well, I mean, she didn't know really what was going on with him, but she kind of suspected that something was wrong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She did ask him at one point, I think it was actually in the beginning of the festival arc, she asked if he's been going to his tests, and you know how Shammy points out that he smiles when he lies, so he does that exactly. I guess she kind of shrugs it off though when he's like, oh yeah, I've been going to them, blah blah blah, and she's always had that hunch for a while.
Yeah.
I was like, how many chapters ago? Like
A lot.
like basically around 50 at this point.
Like
So
40.
around 50. Yeah,
Yeah.
long time.
You know, it's nice though with like what's been going on lately, even though it's been like really crazy, is that like all of the buildup that Yukio's had is like finally actually like plateauing and doing something.
We've been waiting for song like when something is gonna happen, and now that's happened. We're like screaming.
Yeah. I think especially with what's going, because Shura is obviously, I think, has been the closest with Yukio. Pretty much because they grew up together with you know, Shiro you know, being Yukio's adoptive father, and then Shura training under him. They're both training under him. I think she has been the more perceptive one, because Rin, I guess, wasn't as quick to catch on to what was going on with Yukio as Shura was.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's kind of, you know, and especially because Shura really cares about Yukio. I'm not saying Rin doesn't, because obviously in this chapter, Rin proves that he cares a lot about Yukio, and he knows that something has been going on. So I think with Shura, yeah, she looks at them both as her little brothers, basically.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
She's had more of the, basically, she's had more of a guardian's kind of view rather than Mephisto did, even though Mephisto is legally their guardian.
Yeah, Mephisto sucks.
Yeah.
Shura adopted them already.
Mephisto
Or like
sucks as a guardian.
or the last chapter where Yukio's like talking about his eyes, and and Mephisto just goes, I don't care.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he just sucks
Your
as a guardian.
He's fired.
Like, I don't tell little children what they want. Like, okay.
I'm not helping you discover yourself. I'm too busy for that.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Also, like, I feel like, okay, with like Yukio's relationship with Shura and Rin, like, cause like Yukio has quite the distaste for Rin, but like with Shura, I don't think he likes her, but he definitely doesn't like push her away the same way he does Rin. So like Shura's gonna be more perceptive because Yukio is like actively trying to like shove Rin away. Meanwhile, like sure he is still, but not in the same aggressive way.
Yeah.
I think because he know that Shura is telling the truth in a lot of ways. You know, in his mind, he's like, he knows that, but he wants to, you know, pass it off like, you know, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Whereas, you know, she knows Yukio better than anyone in the group.
Yeah. And sadly more than like Rin, because Rin even says so himself that he's like, I don't even know him anymore. And then
That makes me so sad.
yeah. Yeah, so like, and sure I knew from all the way since the Kyoto arc, when they were actually on their way to Rin's cell, and she tells them like straight up like Rin's the type of person to become like a paladin, and for you you're, and then she tells you like for you you're the type of person to get like influenced really easily. and
Oh,
she
yeah,
tells her to be
yeah.
honest. Yeah. So she saw it from the start, like something was gonna happen to him. She at the time she couldn't tell what, but she knew like
Mm-hmm.
he's the type of person to fall really easily
Yeah.
because he was able to show that bitter side to her even when he was like a little kid. Because with Rin, he kind of had to hide that.
Mm-hmm.
But with Shura, like Shura was already like straight mean to him, so like he was like mean to her back. But like she was able to see that he had bitterness and he had this stuff going on and like jealousy and everything. That's always been his problem.
He's kind of able to show his real self to Shura before he's ever showed anybody else. In all honesty.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Surprising, like even Shiro didn't really see it too much, which is kind of sad because.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother story right there.
Yeah.
It's a really sad one.
I mean, she, especially with that scene when he's in the, it's the one when, before Rin busts open the prison, she says she wants to help him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like even like a little thing like that, because remember when a long time ago when Shiro first proposed, like, oh, I need you to like watch over these kids. She's like, no, what the fuck, like, no way. And now like ever after they saved her, like they mean the world to her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad that like Yukio doesn't really see that. Like he kind of shrugged it off when Shiro like hugged them. It was like, you know, thank you guys. He was just kind of like, it was just part of the mission. I guess he did care a little bit, but it's just really hard for him to open up and kind of accept people's help.
Yeah. At that point, though, he was already like so disillusioned because I feel like anything past him, like that one fight he had with Toto, that like everything afterwards is just Yukio's gone.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Sure, well, I love her.
Yeah.
Shura's trying so hard to help Yukio right now. It's like trying to remind him how bad the situation is, and she can't help him if he doesn't help himself right now, and it just feels so bad for.
Yeah.
Feels so bad.
She's honestly my
trying.
She's like my second favorite character. I love her so much.
Me too.
Yeah, she's so great.
She's amazing.
I just love her relationship with Rin and Yukio, and I think, you know, just a wonderful family type of relationship. They basically form their own kind of family together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like
a little dysfunctional family.
Yeah. They're like Stitch from Lilo and Stitch, and he's like, it's broken, but still good.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, because they all lost their family. They have like no like parents really. Sure didn't even know her mom either. Like basically, when you think, yeah, they went through the same circumstances. Like Rin and Yukio's mother died probably for them, and then Shura's mom died for like the same reason.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
So, yeah, they both like, so she can relate to them in a way. She kind of sees herself in them, and she kind of wants to give them that chance to, you know, grow up, to be able to grow up as kids, because she didn't really get to have that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She grew up in fear all the whole time, you know, like thinking like, what's the point? I'm gonna die anyway. Yeah. And then they changed that for her, you know.
Yeah, they were the ones who basically set her free from that.
Mm-hmm.
Her backstory is so messed up, but it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, when what was it? I think when she started finally hitting, like, I think when she finally became like an adult, like she was already going around like fooling around with men and stuff. And Shiro's like, why are you doing this? Like, you know, like live and stuff like that. And she's like, I don't even know why I'm alive. And like, oh, I was like, oh,
and now we know.
Now we know. For the babies.
Babies.
So
Shura's arc was very emotional.
Yeah. So Yukio in this chapter, he basically doesn't say anything.
Not a word.
His faces sure say a lot though.
Yeah.
He does that knife cat face a lot.
Yeah. I'm just looking at this one panel where Shura is like saying, "Oh, I want to help you," and he just gives her like this look.
I wanted to smack him.
And I'm just like, I can't tell what he's trying to do, because I just, like, what's going through his mind. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's like, I guess, super self-destructive because he's like ready to take the hit even though he didn't shoot Mephisto at all.
Yeah, he's just like, what's the point anymore? He's just kind of like,
Yeah, I
he's
think
like, I already tried to kill myself, so I don't care what happens to me, really.
Yeah.
It's like, YOLO, who cares anymore at this point?
Yeah, I think he's just kind of glad that he's kind of glad that the order's failing now. Now that the gate's falling, he's like, huh, well, True Cross failed me, so now they're failing. Like, why should I care?
The rest of the world's gonna go down with me. Ha!
Yeah.
Watch, like, Rin will be like, hey, the gate opened, and you could be like, okay, wait, what? I don't, that's fine, let it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess this is kind of like, since this part is called Beyond the Snow Part 4, this is kind of, I guess, wrapping up this part of Yukio's story. And I think after the next chapter, we won't be seeing him for a while.
Depends on whatever happens with them. Watch someone like show up and just grab Yukio, and it'll be like, well, I was gonna take him, but it's fine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, shoot. And then, let me see, what was something caught my eye.
Watch it end up being like, we gotta go save Yukio plot.
I don't know what's gonna even happen. Like, did they even think, you know? Well, I'm sure they have something planned. Like, where are they gonna take him? Because they can break him out. But where are they gonna run? Rin said they're gonna run away, but where?
I was thinking about this.
Right with that.
Yeah. I
was thinking about this like before, and it was like, you know, they'll get out of there and they have Yukio and everything, and they're just like sitting under like a highway, like we didn't think this out at all.
Yeah, he's just like, I didn't think I'd get this far.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think they're gonna succeed with bailing him out.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a mirror from like when Shimi went and got Rin out from that one jail, but now it's like Yukio's not coming out.
Yeah, like the difference is like with Rin, at least he had he had some kind of chance to redeem himself, and Mephisto had his back anyway. So no matter what, like the Order was gonna do with him, like Mephisto was gonna be sure to protect him. But now Mephisto's like bedridden. So
yeah.
And what's like, and there's not like there's anything that that Yukio's gonna protect the Order from, because Rin defeated the Imperial King, so everyone's like, okay, saw some good in him at least. But Yukio, what's Yukio gonna do?
He's too busy laughing.
Yeah, he's too busy laughing, and they're gonna see that he's not all right, and he seems like he doesn't care about the Order, and they're gonna see kind of his intent, that he wants to hurt them. So it's just gonna be hard to like prove that he's on their side, and there's like a way they can get him out.
It's like also like going back to like a parallel thing, like Rin's like way more positive than Yukio is, and like if he had a problem he would want to get better. Yukio would not, because again, like we were saying earlier, he's at the point where he just doesn't care anymore.
Yeah.
It's like that one part in the Imperial King arc, when Rin is basically, he feels like he's losing control of himself, and then he remembers that his friends have his back, and he's like, okay, I don't want to let them down, I need to do this. Whereas Yukio is like, at this point, he's just like, I have no friends, I'm all alone, I can't do anything.
Yeah, he even pointed that out after the Aomori arc, when I think his arm was hurt, and he was thinking about like Illuminati and stuff, and he was thinking about all the XYs. He's like, everyone has something they want to protect, or like they want to care for, but like for me, he's like, I don't. I just all I see is myself. I don't really see anyone else. So he knows that better than anyone. And it's because he's so aware that he's not going to budge.
There's that scene a few chapters ago too where like he goes to Shiami and he's like looking for comfort, and she's like, "I'm your friend. You have friends. Also, Rin cares about you." He just goes like, "No, we're done."
Oh no.
Yeah, we were talking about the last episode that when Yukio shoves Shiami and like it's like
That's messed up.
yeah. I think I'm trying to I'm trying to come up with a good way to describe Yukio's state of being because it's just
He's just a mess.
yeah.
Self-destructive, destructive to everybody else.
Yeah,
It's like
I think destructive is just the word to be used for Yukio right now in terms of all manners of
mhm.
of his life and everyone else's.
Because
yeah.
the way he goes down, he brings everyone down with him, honestly.
Yeah, like if they like scenario where like they got Yukio out of the jail and they're just kind of like on their own,
Mhm.
like he would like probably like sabotage them either by not doing anything or by purposely sabotaging them somehow. Like just
Yeah.
this is how he is right now.
Mhm. And like all this is pretty ironic anyway because in the first place he didn't want anyone, getting involved. But because of his actions, everyone did end up getting involved.
Because he didn't tell anybody what was going on with him.
Mhm.
And he just let this like wound, this self-inflicted wound that he had, like a metaphorical one, not an actual one, just fester in himself, and like it just kept getting worse and worse, and he just didn't do anything about it until people people were noticing that it was getting worse, but he wouldn't let anyone in his he wouldn't let anyone in, basically.
Oh.
It's just, this is like, I wouldn't say because he's, they confirmed that he didn't shoot Mephisto, that he's facing consequences for his actions because obviously he didn't shoot him and he's being framed. Well, he got let go on being charged of being shooting Mephisto, but now he's facing consequences for something else, which is the fact that he's hid this whole thing about his eyes the entire time, and now the Order is trying to figure out how to handle this. So,
like, they already have enough on their plate, and it's like now we got it's like, okay, it's like, first off, any other demon would be fine, but it's the fact that another Satan's child is like, okay, what do we do now? The gate's already breaking, and like you said, like if you had just told somebody about like this earlier, then like they would be way less hectic right now for everyone.
Yeah, also, it's like really interesting though, because like I used to joke about how like in the anime, like when they made Yukio a demon, I was like, why'd they do that? Because now they don't even have to use Rin because Yukio was obedient and he could do stuff for them. And now it's like the other way around where Rin's like actually the obedient one and like would behave if he like told him to do something, and Yukio was just the one that would like totally go off the rails.
Yeah.
It definitely made Rin look. Rin definitely just became the trusted one.
Yeah, but anyway, going off of what Sue said about like being a spawn of Satan, it's like the Order already knew that Yukio was a spawn of Satan. The reason why they didn't interrogate him right away was because they thought he was completely human, but obviously he's not completely human.
So he had his chance to tell him.
Yeah.
Because he did end up having a checkup. And then whoever was that doctor that was checking was like, is there anything on your mind? And Yukio's like, nah, I'm good. I'm just checking. And it's like, it could have started right there, caught it way early.
Right.
Now with Yukio, of course not.
It's just like, it's just like when they found out that Rin is Satan's child, then obviously, being related to Yukio by blood, they would also think, yeah, he's Satan's child, but he's also human. We just want to, mess with Rin because he has demonic powers. He's dangerous. Yu-Gi-Oh didn't prove to be dangerous at that point, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he's pretty dangerous, so let's be real.
Yeah. Because
he's
Yukio has
more,
Yukio has more of like the personality of what they would consider, the danger and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's definitely he's more dangerous than Rin at this point. I mean, Rin's pretty much Rin pretty much couldn't hurt a fly. Let's be real.
Unless they were hurting his friends, then he'd hurt the fly.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, this is definitely a Rin heavy chapter.
Finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah. So, he proposes to run away with Yukio from the Order, and he basically, he's just like, he's such like a sweetheart and a loyal person, and he's like,
he loves his brother so much, even though his brother hates him.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's... Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna be like, imagine loving someone that much, being loved that much. I would die.
Yeah,
such a pure love.
He's such a good boy.
It's like, I don't know how people doubted that Rin doesn't know what's going on with Yukio, because
I know.
It's like he knew all along that something was wrong. He knew.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know we said earlier that Shura knows Yukio better than anyone else, but I guess the second best person that knows Yukio better than anyone else is Rin, and it's like he just, it's like when you grow up with your, you have your sibling and you grow up with them and live with them your whole life. It's like you know this whole side of them that other people don't. Because the way they act different around you than around other people. I think like having a sibling kind of taught me that. So yeah, being an older sister of a younger brother. So I kind of I mean, my brother isn't like self-destructive or like anything like that. It's just like you kind of it's you have to understand what they're going through, and I kind of relate to Rin like that. Yeah. I mean, I know some of you have siblings, and I guess you can understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I can guarantee. In particular, with my little sister, I'd do anything for her.
Oh yeah, no, I'd do anything for my brother.
So
especially
the way,
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say the way that Rin is dealing with the situation, that his brother's most important thing in the world to him, would do anything for him, is very, very, it hits really close to home.
Especially when it comes to like when they're younger than you, you have that huge protectiveness over them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there, and then it's like no matter how old they get and or how rebellious they get, like you do anything.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna explain like my brother's situation because it's kind of personal, but he's been going through some hard times lately, and is sometimes, you know, he's been a little depressed about it, and it's like sometimes he might keep it bottled up and not talk to anyone or only talk to certain people about it. And seeing Yukio kind of go down this self-destructive path of being, depressed and not talking to anyone about his own issues, it kind of makes me see a little bit of his and Rin's relationship and my brother and I's relationship. So, although I'm much closer with my brother.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, but it's like easy to understand like the frustration Rin feels like with trying to care, but it's like he can't even like do anything because he's like Yukio won't even let him.
Trying to reach out to someone that doesn't want your help. And you care so much, and they just keep pushing you away, and it's like you're stuck in a situation where you just can't do anything as hard as you try. That's how Rin got into the situation he's currently in, because he was scared of pushing and making it worse. He didn't want to make it feel like Yukio had to open up to him, but he wanted to put the, make sure he's available for it, or to do it in the most kind manner possible, because the more you push someone, you're never going to get through to them. Coming from a family of 6 kids, I can guarantee, the more you push someone to tell you what's going on, they are going to pull away as fast as possible.
Oh, yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, and like, honestly, like, I can relate to Yukio in that way, where it's like, if I get pushed a lot to talk about something, I'm not going to talk about it. And also, I feel like one reason that Yukio kind of, like, doesn't do anything is also a pride thing, especially because he was supposed to be the good brother in terms of responsibility and intelligence and stuff. And I see this too. Rin shows him up ever, and he just goes like, kind of has a little like mini crisis right there.
Yeah. I love Rin.
I know. And I think because Rin knows how Yukio can get, he probably didn't want to push it to the point where Yukio would, kind of get in his face again, like he usually does about, when Rin, I guess, when earlier chapters when Rin was acting pretty more reckless than he is now, and he's a lot more, I guess, he's not as quick to go into, well, I mean, in this chapter, he was kind of quick to go find Yukio without knowing where to go, so, but, I mean, in general, he's not, like, quick to act on things as he used to be.
Yeah, he really mellowed out. Really mellowed out, and probably just because the stakes are so high, and like you said, didn't want to push Yukio, but now it's like, he's getting it back though.
Yeah.
Which is good. It's good though. We kind of need it for story's sake and also character's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think also because Rin needs that to have that confrontation with him. That the two for so long, they have been together in the same room on multiple occasions, but it's like Rin said in previous chapters that he didn't understand, he doesn't understand Yukio anymore the way he used to. He doesn't feel like he knows him. And
it makes me so sad. I'm like, you guys can't see this, but I'm like legitimately tearing up thinking about how good Rin is and how much he cares.
I know.
I'm tearing up, you guys.
I think so much
I'm feeling it.
I think about like how much Rin means to me, like almost every single day. I'm like, Rin is just so good. He's just so pure and loving, and oh my god. I can go on.
Okay, so like, cause you usually see this type of character in like a lot of shows. Like, it's just like the character that would die for their friends, blah blah. And you usually get kind of tired by that. I usually get tired by that, but with Rin, it just actually feels so genuine and really realistic because usually the protagonist, like it's like Naruto or something like that. He's like, oh, he'll die for his friends, fight for his friends, blah blah blah. He'll do anything for them. But like, I don't know, it got kind of tiring after a while, things like that. But with Rin, it's like you see all the struggle going on with him too, with him trying to reach out, and it's with like family, and he's not perfect at it, he's not the best at it, but he tries, and that's really what matters.
He tries so hard. It's honestly just so sad to watch, because it's like he doesn't deserve any of this.
That's me. I'm crying.
Yeah. But
Big mood.
Big fucking mood.
I guess it's kind of like where Blue Exorcist does such a good job, because it's kind of like with Full Metal Alchemist. It's having the family bond there kind of brings a bit of a difference with the emotional pull you get from it, rather than like with Naruto and stuff. Kind of probably helps.
Also, like, I feel like with Rin, he has kind of like more of a reason to care about having friends at all, just because he didn't have them growing up at all, and then things have happened where he needed his friends, and like him not trusting them or them not trusting him was really a bad thing. So now he's like learned, and Yukio hasn't had an experience like that at all.
Yeah, he's learned to trust people, and he's I think that was one of the biggest lessons from the Imperial King arc, because it was kind of hard for him to trust his friends, because he wasn't sure how they'd react to him being Satan's son. And then once, like, they found out, they weren't upset with him because he was the son of Satan. They were just upset with him because they didn't feel like he trusted them enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that he learned that his friends actually do care. It's not that they don't like him because he's the son of Satan. It's just that they felt, I guess, like he felt like he wasn't trustworthy enough. So
they were hurt.
Yeah.
It's like because they felt like they were closer, and that by that point with how close they were, that they'd be trustworthy to be told all that, and that it just felt like it's not as deep to him as it was to them. Basically, was how it ended up feeling, even though that wasn't what it was.
Right.
But that's kind of how the situation kind of ended up how it was. Well, specifically in Bond's case with that part right there.
Yeah.
Shiemi, it was more of a reflection of how she felt as a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just wanna point out that Ren says, I don't want Yukio to be alone in the chapter. So.
Oh, I do.
Oh my gosh. I was crying so hard at that part.
I don't know whether that means he's going to stay with Yukio, or Yukio's gonna, if he's going to push Yukio's buttons enough that Yukio just, like, can't take it and pushes him away for good.
Yeah.
Which I feel like that's gonna happen.
Big problem with Yukio right this moment is with when he tried to kill himself, and the fact he wasn't able to because Satan stopped him. You can tell he has no desire to know the secrets of his birth and everything anymore. Now he feels like he's obligated to live, and that makes him more ticked off than he was before, where he just gave up on everything, because now he's not even allowed to take do what he wants at all. Like he's forced into a box, which I think is part of his problem of how he's reacting to this whole situation. Like, I don't freaking care.
Yeah, it's like of course he shouldn't kill himself, but it's just like that fact that he has no choice to just live through what he has to, like that feeling, like you said, like he lives in the box. It's like really weird. and sad.
He feels trapped.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And when Rin goes in there and bothers him and tries to get him to do something he doesn't do, he's trapped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Changing the subject just a teensy bit. So, one of the things that happened besides like the whole thing with Yukio, being taken in by the Order and Ren and the ex-wives breaking in to rescue him, that it shows that the Gehenna Gate is the barrier broke on the Gehenna Gate, and basically it's caused a explosion of some sort. So it's showing like the different places that where it hit. So I feel like this is kind of where shit's gonna go down.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness. I was like, holy crap at those parts.
But
Mhm.
I don't think it means that we're entering the final part of the manga. I think we're far from
no.
it.
No, we still have a lot because I feel like Yukio's gonna be trapped for a while, honestly. Because I think if
Yeah.
anything, this is just gonna push them back even further. What they're doing, because I feel like
Yeah.
they're probably gonna be restricted of their titles probably,
Mm-hmm.
and they're probably gonna be limited to the resources they can access and everything.
Yep.
And Yukio will probably move to a more confined space. They probably won't even know where he is. Mephisto is bedridden, like we said. Lewin is arrested. I don't know when he's getting out. Shima is gonna do who knows what.
We don't know.
Shira doesn't really have her sword. You know, her like she got demoted, right? She told Mephisto to demote her, so she doesn't really have as much authority as she could.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's the point of everything that's been going on. Everything's just like, you know, they're basically on their own now. These little kids, because before they always had something, you know, to help them. Always had something to back them up.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're really on their own.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
If things don't go like extremely bad and they leave the Order, I have a feeling this basically guarantees Shiami's joining back on trying to become an exorcist.
Yeah, she might. Like, I feel like at this point she's like, you know, because it was probably something personal that held her back, and now it's probably like, you know, that doesn't really matter. You know, my friends matter more.
Yeah.
And we can finally know what happened.
Hopefully. And that's why I feel like it isn't ending too soon, just because there's a lot of what we don't know.
There's too many loose ends. There's no way she's leaving it. Honestly, I personally just think the Gehenna Gate opening just brings up more possibilities to keep the plot moving forward without it being anywhere close to the end, though.
Yeah.
It'll definitely make it more action-packed.
Yeah, because I feel like if the story was gonna end, it wouldn't be with just a gate opening. It's honestly probably gonna go way more into Gehenna. Actually, if we're gonna have like a final scene type.
Ooh.
Yeah, like I feel like
I
feel like we'll actually maybe like the world will kind of settle a bit as it is with all the demons coming in, and then we'll probably see people adjust or something, or maybe we'll see like the government fall, you know. See how that settles, rather than try to stop it or something.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of out of their power, you know.
Yeah. Actually, going on. I'm trying to think. I had something and then I just forgot it. It was about Shiami. Yeah, come back to me for a second.
See.
So I guess for one thing, Rin still feels the gate opening, or the barrier breaking and the gate opening, in this chapter. Like, you still see the expression on his face as he feels the Gehenna Gate opening, so I don't know if that's going to lead to anything that's going to happen later in the arc, but I just thought I'd point that out.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I don't. I think one thing to keep in mind is that, they still haven't taken their exorcist exams yet.
That's
Looks
true.
like they're not now.
Yeah.
Depending, if they don't... Sorry.
Yeah, I think they're kind of... Well, it depends if they get caught, but they probably will.
Mm-hmm.
But let's be honest.
I don't know, they're kind of short-handed as it is, so they might still take them back even if they're little traitors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Watch they'll get the chance to take their exam, and it'll be like at the end of the story or something, and they'll be like, man, I forgot everything that we studied for because we were fighting people.
I think they'll probably just be like, forget about the exams for now and just fight.
I don't know, if they're gonna be fugitives, they should go run and, like, live at Bond's family's house. They'd take them in, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, they would.
Yeah.
Like, let the little fugitives live there.
I don't know if anyone has heard of Seraph of the End or Wari no Seraph.
I've heard of it.
Okay. So something similar happens in that particular manga. I've only read a couple of chapters that happen past the anime, but at the end of the anime, basically, something happens where, like, all the characters kind of leave their where the organizations they were working for and kind of split off and become fugitives. And it kind of just, like, the anime ends there, but, like, the manga, I think, is still ongoing, so I'm not sure. I haven't really caught up with it, but I just, like, this whole thing with Rin wanting to run away from the Order of Yukio and, like, become, like, a fugitive kind of reminded me of that. Yeah. And it's funny because, like, I see a lot of Yu, who's the main protagonist in Ori no Seraph with Rin, and it's not just the fact that they, like, both have, like, black hair and they use katanas, but I just see a lot of their personalities kind of like their willingness to protect, like, their family. Yeah, like, so, just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's good to see, like, family really matter in a lot of series.
yeah.
I just know that's, like, a running theme in Blue Exorcist in general.
Like every of the main character has like a problem with their family somehow, some way, whether it's minor or really big. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, that's literally. I can't think of a single family that isn't dysfunctional in this series. Maybe at this point, Suguro's family isn't really that dysfunctional anymore because things have kind of settled with him. Like he's made up with his dad, and but, like, Izumo basically, her mother passed away, and her sister got adopted into a different family, so she basically just has the ex-wires. But, like, with Shima's family, it's still pretty dysfunctional.
Yeah.
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 Then Shiami, her and her mom were just starting to fix things.
And now we see that's not the case.
Yeah!
Rip Shiami.
What's
Shiami's trying so hard.
She got her own stuff going on.
I just want to know.
I literally want to know.
Yeah.
Especially about this is, like, she like, probably left, like, being an exorcist just so she could get away from it, and then, like, Yukio just, like, comes to her house, and she's like, I wanted to be done.
It's like, I tried to listen to my mom. Why are you doing that? He's like, I'm trying to be a good daughter, and you're pulling me back into this.
We don't know who her father is still, or if he's still, like, alive or anything like that.
Also,
And-
like, I think it's weird that, like, with her not being an exorcist, she just, like, I think her mom said it, and then when she was telling it to everyone else, her thing was like, oh, I'm just gonna go work in my shop. I think her shop's, like, a thing,
Yeah.
not just a shop.
Yeah.
Maybe something to do with the Garden of Amahara is going to come up.
I hope
yeah.
so.
Hmm.
That'd be really nice. I wonder if it has something to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way that's not gonna come back, because, like,
Yeah.
seriously, that was such, like, a big deal when she first came up, and they wouldn't just drop
Yeah.
that. It'd come
Yeah.
back and kick us in the face somehow.
Kato
Like
never
that-
leaves. Go ahead.
No, I was basically just gonna say, like, that's just been her big dream to see, like, anything. You know, that's, like, more than anything in the world was to see that place.
Mm-hmm.
What if it turns out being a bad thing or something?
I know, like...
That would be so horrible. Crush
Mhm.
Shammy's dreams. I was about to say something.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone. Just
Oh,
continue
okay.
whatever you guys are talking about.
Okay.
It's gone. The way you said that was so funny. It's gone.
So, okay, I know we talked about this already, like a little bit, but I don't think we've delved too deep into it. But obviously, this is setting up the events for the next chapter. What's going to happen now that Rin has broken into Yukio's jail cell? Like, what do you think is going to go down between them?
I'm scared. Like, it's like I'm scared to even think about it, to, like, even guess. Like,
Nothing good is gonna come out of this at all.
Yeah, that's what I gathered.
I know
Yeah,
the one
like-
who's. Go ahead.
Oh,
I'm
no,
sorry.
go ahead. You were talking first.
No matter what way it goes, I know the one who's gonna end up hurt is Rin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically what I've been saying before, it's only gonna push them back even more, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think their efforts can be really just, what's the word I'm looking for? Counterproductive.
Yeah, that's.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's gonna be really counterproductive. That's all he's way past helping right now.
Right.
I don't know what it's gonna take for Yuko to come back, honestly.
Yeah, I'm
I
like,
don't know what
I've thought about, like, what's gonna make him, like, come back, if at all, and I'm like, I feel, I always kind of imagined, like, I don't know what scenario this would fit into, but, like, if he, like, did the right thing in the end, it would kind of, like, that right thing would end up being him dying anyways, through some, like, sacrifice thing or something. I don't know, though.
Yeah.
But, like,
that's-
I feel like just because, like, it's hard. I can't imagine what would redeem him, and he would come out of this whole story totally okay. You know.
He's gonna have something bad happen, no matter where you put it.
I keep thinking that he's gonna make some sort of sacrifice, like go down as like a martyr or something at towards the end of the manga. Like, but obviously, I could be wrong. I have this feeling that he is going to die in some way. Like Rin's
Wait, who are
gonna...
we talking? Oh,
Yukio.
Rin?
No,
Oh,
Yukio. No, I'm just. I think he's gonna die in some way.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I'm like crying thinking about it.
Yeah, I've had a feeling about Yukio dying. If not dying, some reason, because his powers come from his eyes, I've had speculation maybe he'll end up blind by the end of the series.
Ooh, that's a really good one. I didn't think of that one.
I didn't think of that one either. That's kind of.
And that's
new.
not too far-fetched either, like...
Mm-hmm.
It'd be permanent damage and something he'd have to. It's like, not that I'm saying people that are blind or damaged, but it would be something he'd have to live with the repercussions for everything that happened. But
Yeah.
Okay, you know,
but not dying.
that's how I felt like with Fullmetal Alchemist, how
Full
Roy
Metal
became
Alchemist, right?
blind, but then like he just like gets healed, and I'm like, you ruined what like that could have set up thematically. That's like my only like big beef with that series. Is that he just should have stayed blind. Let's do that with Yukio.
Yeah, Yukio will make up for it. Whatever happens to him will stay, I'm sure. Hado doesn't like to give us good things.
I mean,
Yeah, it'll be a little worse than just getting blind and having your hand stabbed like with Roy. It'll be a little worse.
I mean, he already can't see without his glasses, so it's like you make your vision get worse.
See.
Yeah. I was like,
wait, has he been without his glasses this whole chapter?
no, he has his glasses.
Okay, I can't remember. Because I can't remember if, like, when Shura was, like, when she was grabbing him by the collar,
No,
if she, like, I don't know if his glasses fell out or something.
no.
Oh,
All about them evil looks this chapter.
well. I was looking at, oh yeah, they are there. I was looking at his eyes too much to even notice that his glasses were there.
It's okay. If he loses them, he still has all those spares.
Yeah.
All them
God.
glasses.
His eyes are gonna burn. He's gonna be, like, legally blind. Point.
Glasses just melt.
I mean, I can
A little
relate.
flame.
I can relate because I'm legally blind, so,
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh,
Sucks.
Yukio.
Yeah. So, I mean, this chapter seemed a lot shorter than I thought. I remember, like, just looking at the summary online, it seemed like it was a longer chapter, but reading it, it was just like, oh, wait, this is not too long. But I feel like so much happened, like, that
It did.
it just, like,
The pace is picking up again.
yeah, it felt shorter because so much was happening, so...
Yeah.
Thank God, though. I'm so glad the pace is like improving, just because it's always good.
Oh yeah.
I
I know the page number is the standard for usual, so it was about like, including one of the pages was a 2-page spread. It was like 25 pages actually. No, 24 or 25. I don't know. 25 pages.
I thought it was like 30.
Not 25, 30. I had 30.
Yeah.
Ignore me. I've tried. I don't know why my brain said 20 instead of 30. It was like 35 or 34.
It's fine. Yeah. I hope the next chapter isn't too short though.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Oh.
Shouldn't be since she got a break not too long ago.
Just
Yeah.
waiting. It's just the whole wait. It's like a whole month wait. Like a month wait is, it's good for her health and everything. So
Bad
like
for
I wouldn't.
ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish this manga was a weekly manga, but then I realized no, it's better as a monthly manga.
Especially with how clean her art is and everything.
Her art is so good.
And also she's able to keep it at the pace she needs it and everything by having it monthly.
Yeah.
And her, compared to other manga, like her chapters are pretty long in general.
Yeah. So, I guess before we move on to the next part of the podcast, do you all have any final thoughts on the chapter?
I'm dying.
Yeah. It's like at this point, it's like I don't know what I have no idea what she's gonna do next.
I know it's really hard to predict what's gonna happen at this point.
Oh, okay. Before we end this, I love how Shami and Izumo are just pretending that Izumo is her. And they're just like, oh my god, we need to get her to a hospital, guy.
Oh my gosh, that was so great.
Yeah.
I also love that Shiami was the one that's not injured.
I know.
Like, I'm the hero. I saved her. So fun.
It's so cute seeing them in Exorcist uniforms.
That's the best part about it.
Oh my god.
They look so good in it. And maybe that's why Shima needs to be an exorcist, but that's none of my business.
Also, I love the throwback to the Impure King arc with the camo ponchos.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought we'd never
so
see
nice to
those
see that.
again.
I was hoping they use it again because that's so practical.
Yes, they're so cool.
Yeah, it's just oh my god! Like when I saw them all wearing it, it was like Yeah, I was just like, it's the Impure King arc all over again. It's
so
just
good.
this whole chapter just felt like what happened with the Impure King arc, with them announcing that Rin was sentenced to death, and then everyone's just trying to break Rin out of the prison, and now it's like Yukio is going away and getting testing, and it's like everyone's trying to break Yukio out of the prison, and it's like the whole thing with Shiami going into Rin's cell and busting him out, and now it's Rin going into Yukio's cell and busting him out. It's like, it's just like, it feels like the Impure King arc all over again.
It's a really good parallel.
Yeah.
It is. And then you find it's also nice to see. It's like, yes, Yukio, you think you have no friends, but all of Rin's friends, they care about you too. They don't just consider Rin their friend. It's like
Bon
they all
and
love
him.
you.
Bon and Yukio like could have been friends. Like they really could have. And then Yukio goes and points a gun at him, and Bon's like, I think I need to go find an adult.
That was so sad because,
Oh
like, literally not too long before, they were like, cutting little decorations for a Christmas party.
Oh yeah.
And now Yukio was about to cut him up instead with his gun.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like with Bon and Yukio, it's like you go all the way back to during like the festival arc, and it's like Bon's like, oh no, this girl asked me out, and just being like asking Yukio for advice on how to deal with it because he doesn't want to go with this girl to dance and feels bad about turning them down. It's like, it's like their friendship, like little things here and there, and then it's just like, a gun, I'm gonna try and shoot you. It's like, why would you do that? It's going so well. It was perfect.
How could this happen to me?
But my favorite part with that scene is with Bon literally flat out saying, are you gonna shoot me?
I know, and Yukio's like,
Do it.
And then it's like it just processed in Yukio's head, like, oh crap, wait, what? It's like, no, I'm not gonna shoot you.
Yeah.
Yukio's a whole big bundle of just mess.
Yep.
He is. And then you feel bad for. I'll give Kato props for that one. No offense to any Naruto fans out there. I'm not a fan of Sasuke.
Sasuke is a piece of poop.
Yeah,
Yukio.
like I hate edgy characters, but man, do I love Yukio.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I was about to say. It's like, unlike with the whole Sasuke thing, with the way Yukio's done, it doesn't feel like you're forced to feel bad for him. It's like you feel bad for him because of realistic reasons. Like you understand the situation without justifying it. It's like
because his mental health problems are so relatable to other people's mental health problems.
Right.
It's just so heavy, and because we've had so much build up to it, we've seen Yukio like either slowly or quickly just fall apart and just shatter in a billion pieces, and now it's like really like falling apart on him, and it's just like, oh, we've watched you just get worse and worse, and now it's bad.
Yeah.
It's just like
That's
Kato.
what makes it... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just like Kato dives like into like dealing with someone's mental health and like self-destructive behavior, because this can happen to anyone. It's not just like a over-exaggerated archetype of a character. It's just like it feels so realistic to like because this can happen to anyone basically.
Yeah.
Also, like Yukio's like, well, I guess now he's 16, but like, I mean, he's still a kid. He's like barely a teenager.
Yeah.
Like, like it's honestly, it's no wonder that he totally fell apart like this. It's really no wonder at all.
Because especially when this started happening when he was a kid, first off. So when you're a child, your brain is still developing, and when trauma happens, it kind of just sticks with you, and it's that's why he's kind of just stuck with his ways with how he's done things. With having to be quiet about everything. And like that's always like been his way since he was, since as long as he can remember, since he was like 7. And having to do that and just having to like see things since he was little. So I feel like some people, like it's understandable to be angry about his actions, but I feel like some people kind of blame him a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of
Yeah.
they kind of they just kind of get angry without thinking,
Mm-hmm.
because I know some people who are like, oh, I hate you, blah, 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 and they kind of they just kind of flat out disregard him, and it's like you kind of have to understand that when imagine being 2 years old and having to see things and having to be afraid of things, having to see and having to, and then even as a kid growing up having to kill things, and it's he's a little kid when he's going through this, and it's just a constant thing. It's not one tragic event that what anime cliches have. It's one tragic event that kind of set them at the way they are. This was something that was constant. It's all he's ever known.
I'd say
Also, I was talking about earlier how Yukio because you grew up like that, and so now that Rin is I guess relevant is the good word for it. Like I said, he was having now many crises because the way he has been living, even if he didn't like it or wasn't good, is totally uprooted. So he has he doesn't know anything what he's supposed to do now.
right. I think
Mm-hmm.
I think some people don't like to admit it, but Shiro is definitely partially the brain, or well, not partially,
Yeah.
but
He is way at fault.
90% to blame.
Yeah, that's not to shit that's not to shit at him at all, and to it's just to recognize that he wasn't perfect, because he didn't obviously he didn't want to be a parent. When he got Shura, he didn't know what he was doing. He was just here was this kid. He wasn't prepared to be a parent at all.
Yeah, and Shura had Rin and Yukio's mom to have at least someone who knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
Which was a cool scene. Which is a cool scene for Shura's sake, but also because Yukio was oh, I want to know everything about this. And Rin's just no.
Yeah, actually, I want to get into this, actually, before we go into the headcanon thing. This is kind of not related to the chapter, but I saw someone post on Tumblr earlier. Let me look it up really quick. Someone, I guess, had a theory about, well, or not a theory per se, but was guessing whether or not Yuri, Rin Yukio's mom, was dead or not.
Oh yeah.
So, because they don't explicitly say that she's dead.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I wouldn't be surprised if she's still alive somewhere.
Yeah. Let me look it up.
Momo has that headcanon that their mom is the lady from the Illuminati we don't have the name for.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
I mean, I kind of doubt that, but
it's funny.
Yeah.
I remember them mentioning
what's her
that.
Name? Just what's her name?
I want to know her name.
I don't know.
Yeah,
we don't even
that,
know.
That Yuri has Rin's eyes, that's oh, it's far-fetched now.
Oh, okay. Wait, that's right, they did. Yeah. I still want to know her name.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Shout out to Tumblr user Johnny the Dog with 2 G's, who posted about Yuri still being alive, if there are any theories about that. So, I mean, I kind of had this whole, I had a fanfic idea a long time ago, and this was when I was this was after I finished the anime, and it was I kind of have this AU thing going on about her surviving childbirth and then going into hiding or something.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But that was 4-ish years ago, so I'm not sure what the hell if she's dead or not. So
right,
because she dies in the anime, but it's not confirmed if she's dead or not in the manga.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Oh yeah, it was a little indicator from Satan. You can't trust him.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing he said was something like about someone's body not being able to, it's like handle his power and stuff like that, but still not indicative of saying she's dead.
Right.
100%.
And we don't know if she willingly was impregnated or if she was like raped or something.
Yeah, that's an important thing to think about too.
I know what my guess on that is, but that's just because I don't think it went down the anime route with that.
Yeah.
The anime route was like just kind of lame. How it's like, but I love him.
that whole backstory thing was like bullshit, because basically it was like he was in her mind, and the next thing you know, oh, I'm pregnant. And it's like, how did he just like go inside her? Like, I don't want to think about it.
Okay, let's not speculate from there. Let's keep this safe.
Okay, let's keep this PG for 13.
In terms of the one thing, regardless of what way, if she willingly was actually in love with Satan or not, I have a lot of respect for her. It's like, no matter what you put it, she chose to have the kids.
Yeah.
No matter what you put it. So, right there, I have respect for her.
Yeah, because I feel like what happened was that maybe something was kind of forced on her, but she wasn't going to blame the kids for that.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Especially that.
Because we could see that she was kind.
Yeah, like, she obviously wasn't around to raise them, but like, she probably would have been an okay mom. She would have been a bad mom, I don't think.
So like,
maybe bad only in the circumstance that like this is unexpected, or maybe she's just young or something. But like, in terms of personality, probably not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, and no matter what you put it, if she lived or not, it's like, well, if she's dead, she gave up her life for these kids.
Yeah.
Okay, so any other thoughts on the new chapter before we move on?
I'm pretty wrapped up.
Okay.
I think
all right.
Good.
So now we move on to our next section of the podcast, which is our weird headcanons.
I gotta go to bed though, so like, cause 1 a.m. for me, and I have class.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
But thanks for having me on. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you for joining us, Tay.
Thank you for joining.
No problem. Bye.
All right. Cool.
Bye.
All right. So the rest of us will be discussing our weird headcanons. I'm gonna go first because I have a pretty good one. So, I don't know if it's known to a lot of people who follow me on social media, maybe not, but I'm a pretty huge Love Live fan. And
I know that.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
And I kind of had this theory for a couple of years that Rin is secretly a Love Live fan.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Nice. Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, so this is how I guess, theorized how he got into it. He basically, okay, so I feel like Izmo and Paku would be fans of Love Live, so I feel like he accidentally stumbled upon some of their CDs and listened to them, and he just went on the computer and looked up the anime and things like that, and he just started becoming obsessed with their music and started dancing to the songs and started playing the mobile game, because there is a mobile game, and his best girl is actually named Rin. So I'm not just saying that because they share the same name. Although it's technically not the same name because the kanji is different for their first name, but like I'm saying that because like she has kind of like this persona of being like a cat girl. Like she does like the nya thing.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll show you guys a picture of her in the chat if you haven't seen her. So her name is Rin Hoshizora. And I guess his second best girl would be from the, Muse, because there's two groups in Love Live. There's Muse and there's Aqua. His second best girl would be Nico, who I'm sure all of you know who she is. She does the Nico thing. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
And I guess from Aqua, his best girl would be Yohane or Yoshiko. And her thing is basically she's like a fallen angel, and she calls like her fans her little demons, and she has like this persona.
Oh my gosh.
So I felt like that was fitting for the fact that Rin is like the son of Satan, and she's like supposed to be a fallen angel, and it's like, yeah, this
she's adorable.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Rin. And I'll find Yoshiko real quick.
All right.
And yeah, so I could delve into this headcanon forever, because it's like he's like so I feel like he would be so obsessed with Love Live.
He's precious. He could totally. I could see it.
Yes. Like he would be just a closeted fan, because at first, but like, and then probably like Izumo would find out, and then they would just like secretly like go to like concerts together, or go to like Akihabara and like look up like all the Love Live merch and like buy all the merch. For those of you who don't know what Akihabara is, it's a part of Tokyo where it's like known as like the biggest anime merch paradise. So you could find like a bunch of anime merch there, and they have like maid cafes and things like that. Here, let's find Yoshiko. Here's Yoshiko.
Oh, she's adorable.
Yep.
Love her hair.
Yeah.
So blue.
She's so cute. I understand Love Live is not for everyone, but if you haven't seen it, I highly advise you watch it if you love cute girls doing cute things and idols and things like that. So that's one of my weird headcanons.
Nice. I think I remember one time we were watching something and you said Nico Nissan or something like that.
We were watching Love Live. And
that was it, and I was gonna draw Yukio doing something with that.
You were doing the Nico Ni.
Yeah, I was gonna draw Yukio doing something. I think I was supposed to draw you.
Okay, so that's
what happened eventually.
That's one of my weird headcanons. So make of that what you will.
Mine's like
good.
Mine has no. Mine has like no need to like delve into. It's just there. It's just stuck there. But I've always had this like. It's not even a headcanon, it's just something I envisioned, but I always envisioned that Bond like smells like barbecue sauce. It's just that's it. That's really all it is. It's just when I think of him, it's like, and I look at him, I just think he smells like barbecue sauce.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice. Oh, I'm trying to think if I have any. I liked headcanon. Shiemi has a pet hedgehog.
Oh, that's so cute.
It wandered into her garden one day.
Mm-hmm.
Because hedgehogs. And it basically just lives there. It comes and goes as it pleases, and she just makes sure to leave food out for it and everything. And it's a spoiled little rotten thing. Because, hedgehogs are very big on closing off, and they like certain people. It really depends on the hedgehog. They're very introverted pets. So it's just like, also I think it kind of represents how Shiemi is able to get through to people that are rough around the edges. And a hedgehog kind of closes themselves off with their quills and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that being able to get close, it's like how Shiami's able to get through to someone that's like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cute.
Aww,
Let's see.
I love that.
Other headcanon. I always like to, since Shiami knows nothing about pop culture and stuff, I've always imagined Izumo and Rin make it their goal in life to get her into everything that she's been missing out of her entire life.
Oh, they would. They still would.
TV shows, everything, anime, everything.
Yeah, we saw Izumo do that. We remember when she went to her house, she brought a whole bunch of manga over, and she was like, yeah! She's all like almost excited.
Yeah.
I'd say she'd also get into love life through Izumo.
Oh yeah, I can see it. Join their little group of people with love life.
Yeah.
So I'm just. Most of my headcanons are just Shiami based, or Rinshi based because I'm trash.
That's a good order.
No, it's fine. You can share.
Well, I can't remember like 50% of them right now.
Okay. Well, I have another weird headcanon for Rin. Like, I know he has Kuro as his familiar, so I see him as like a cat person. So I just like imagine him just like going to cat cafes all the time and like just going there to like play with the cats. I wouldn't say that's I wouldn't say that's like a weird headcanon, but it's like a really cute headcanon because I mean he already has Kuro and he's like kind of a cat. But like I just would like imagine him just like going to a cat cafe and just playing with the cats there and just like he like
that's so cute.
I mean I know he really like especially like if you guys remember the beginning of the manga when that guy was I can't remember his name was
the dude with the face. I don't know.
The guy who gets possessed by Astroth, who was shooting at the pigeons. Like he obviously cares for animals. So not the dude that was shooting at the pigeons.
Wait, no.
Rin obviously cares about animals. So.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I just see him as like a cat person, honestly.
Rin, when he's older, just adopting every cat he sees.
He just would become like instead of a crazy cat lady, like a crazy cat man.
Yeah, I could definitely see him if this demon world didn't exist, like he would probably end up volunteering in like maybe pet stores or something, or like pet shelters, and like maybe really take up into maybe like getting to animals and stuff, or cooking, either or.
Oh
both.
Yeah. If he wasn't a demon and wasn't being an exorcist, I would see him like training to be like a chef or something, like like opening up his own restaurant or something like that.
I mean, if he finds somewhere he can hide away with being a fugitive right now, like his plan is.
Although you know, it's not like he can't do both. He could be an exorcist and own a restaurant.
That's true. I mean,
yeah.
Fujimoto was supposed to be apparently a priest and also an exorcist. Granted, that went hand in hand, but
and the paladin.
And paladin, yeah. Man, he multitasked a lot.
Yep. And he was a dad. Even though apparently in the Catholic Church you can't have if you're a priest you can't actually have children or any romantic relationship. So.
Well, as Rin called him, he was a worldly holy man, so.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite line.
Yeah. There's also I also a lot of my headcanons revolve around Rin. I also have this headcanon that he has dyslexia.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and that's why he struggles with like learning things so much.
You can even see him trying to pronounce things and like all kinds of sayings. He's trying to pronounce them. He's like reads it really slow.
like, he obviously, I feel like he might have some sort of learning disability. Like, it doesn't have to be dyslexia, but it could be like ADD,
Yeah.
or you know, just
Oh yeah. I've actually had a similar headcanon. It's it's funny that you mentioned ADD or either one. It's like that was actually one that I've always thought about.
Yeah.
Oops.
That's okay.
I dropped a pencil. It's like mostly when it comes to that, it's because I have a pretty good. I understand ADHD pretty well from the standpoint of having ADHD. So it's one of those things. It's like, and you see some of those traits similar, like with dyslexia and stuff with him, which would explain some of the stuff.
Yeah.
So like, I mostly say that one because it's like the way he learns. It's like if he has to do it a specific way for him to be able to learn things. It's not that he doesn't want to. It's just it's hard for him because of focusing and everything.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
But then also, like you said, it could actually probably be both, which would make it explain like a lot.
I mean, he's definitely smart in his own way.
Oh yeah.
He's not stupid.
It's just he has difficulties with learning, and that's all it is. It's like anyone paid attention to realizing it's easy to make it where it seems like, oh, he's just not paying attention. He's not trying when he actually is.
He does try.
Yeah.
It's just that he struggles with it, and he's not getting the help that he needs.
Yeah, because most people put it off as, oh, you're just not, you just don't want to do this, or you're dumb, you stand this, you're not trying.
Yeah.
Instead of anyone taking a few minutes to listen, it's like, the boy is trying.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if learning disabilities in Japan are, like, treated as they are in America.
Yeah, they're not as much
as
over here.
Right.
They kind of do get shrugged off, and it seems like Kato actually has like big knowledge from what I've seen. She seems like she's really good at implying things, and she seems like she does it really realistically. So it's not like it's not like too far-fetched to be, you know, considering these things about these characters and stuff.
And you know, I think it's a pretty well-known fact at this point that Kato consumes a lot of American media, and she's a really big fan of a lot of American media. So she's probably done a lot of research on like the culture and things like that.
Yeah. You can blame her for getting me into The Walking Dead. She had to draw fan art. I'm like, I'm gonna try The Walking Dead. Why did I do this?
I'm just waiting for her Star Wars fan art when The Last Jedi comes out.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I have a random headcanon.
Okay.
It probably has nothing to do. It probably is inaccurate. I don't care. I like to imagine like before Ren's powers. No, wait, it wouldn't work. I don't know what year The Walking Dead was made, and the series takes place. Whatever. I'm just gonna go with it because it's just out there. I was gonna say, Ren and Yuki before everything, watch The Walking Dead together.
Oh yeah.
Kind of as a thing. It's like the thing is, now that we have confirmed with like one of the things in the back that with TV shows you can see demons on TV and stuff like that. Ren's powers weren't awakened yet, so he could watch TV normally and see no demons. And I'm just sitting here thinking, Yuki will be so annoyed while watching the show, but he can't tell Ren because Ren doesn't know.
Oh yeah.
So just being like, all the little demons in the background. And I'm just sitting there watching with Ren.
It's weird that the cameras can actually capture video of it, because it's like I don't know what it's like, hard to like explain, but how are the cameras capturing it if a camera is, you know, literally just like capturing what can be seen?
I don't know.
And how is it different like through a screen? I don't know.
It's just kind of funny that she actually added that as a fact of being like, yeah, on it's like on live action TV, people that can see demons in all these shows in the background doing annoying things.
And yeah, and Yukio doesn't like watching like paranormal shows because of that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And that's kind of like where that headcanon goes. It's like basically Rin and him used to like spend time together and do stuff like that, and then he'd see demons and stuff in the background. Rin's just watching the TV show like it's normal, and Yukio just being like, I can't say anything. Why, I don't enjoy this show half as much as he does.
Yeah. I also have this headcanon because Kata is a big Star Wars fan, that Rin is a huge Star Wars fan.
Oh yeah, don't they put like some like things of it in their room, like in the anime?
Yeah. That's what I was gonna point out. Actually, was that in the movie, Rin had like a few things. Like he had a Darth Vader helmet, he had a TIE fighter, he had like an R2-D2 thing.
Oh, that's so cute.
Which I think is like he's just like a big Star Wars fan, basically. I also found this shirt once in Urban Outfitters that was like a Star Wars shirt, and it had like Japanese lettering on it, and it kind of reminded me of Rin, and I'm just like, Rin would wear this.
I can see that.
It made me like so excited knowing that Kato watches Game of Thrones, because of I don't know if anyone else saw it, but like in the frame of the new chapter where like Mephisto's passed out on his bed, there's a Game of Thrones poster in the background.
Oh my god. Gosh. Okay, I want to point out this. There was a body pillow of Momo from My Hero Academia on his bed too.
Oh yeah, we all saw that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Momo, no.
And just like, oh my god, like, Kato loves My Hero Academia.
She sure does.
You
know what? I don't feel as bad about the thing about The Walking Dead now, because I just remembered. I think at some point in the manga, it almost shows what year it was, and I know My Hero Academia was not made in the year it was. And since Mephisto had it, it doesn't really matter at that point.
Yeah, like the timeline. Because I think it was like 2009 when it started.
Yeah.
And
even though like in the anime it's supposed to be 2011, so.
So
yeah, those are the posters right there.
Because there's
wow.
Because there's like a screenshot from episode 1 with Ren's ID on it, and it says he's born in 1995.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
right.
Which is actually the year after I was born, so.
Ooh.
He's technically almost 2 years younger than me.
Oh wow!
If he was born on December 27th of 1995, and I was born in January of 1994, so yeah.
I was born in 95, in February.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, fun fact, Grace, your birthday, you share the same birthday as someone.
Oh, isn't it Bryce?
Bryce Pappenbrook, yes.
Oh yes,
yes. I think I always forget, and then my birthday's here, and then people are saying happy birthday to Bryce, and I'm like, oh, it's his birthday too.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Bryce Pappenbrook is the English voice of Ren, which I think is pretty well known at this point, but for people who don't watch dubs, we know who you are.
To each their own.
Yes. But let's just say this right now. We don't hate dubs here. We are not hating the Blue Exorcist dub. We all love the Blue Exorcist dub. Or at least I do.
I do too.
I do too.
Yes. So. Yes. So we are not going to bash on the dub. So if you were expecting us to, sorry. Anyway, any other weird headcanons?
I think I'm gonna head to bed now. But like, this is really fun.
Okay. All right.
Everyone else.
So let's sign off. Before.
All right.
Okay. So this was a fun podcast. I think we talked about a lot. So next time, I'm gonna be opening up the Ask box on our Tumblr page, which is on SquadCast at .tumblr.com, not at tumblr.com. That's squadcast.tumblr.com. There will be a link in the description. You guys can submit your questions. Please keep it safe for work, please. SFW. No weird questions about like fetishes and sex and things like that. Just keep it safe for work. It could be theories, it could be anything, honestly. Just keep it safe for work, because this is a family-friendly podcast.
Mhm.
Well, as family-friendly as a manga about the son of Satan could get. But, yeah.
True.
But yeah, please submit your questions, and we will be sure to answer them in the next podcast. So just, you could submit them anonymously, you could submit them with your username. I am going to be opening up a Twitter account for the podcast in the next few days. You could also submit them through Twitter using the hashtag #SquadCast, and also reply us at @SquadCast on Twitter. And we'll be sure to answer them. Again, just keep it safe for work, please.
We know how you tell people on Tumblr can be. Come on.
Sometimes they.
We know your potential. Don't let us down.
Yes. Please don't. But yes. And also, we know who you are when you submit anonymous hate. Don't do it. Because it's not cool.
Your Anon will be turned off if that happens.
Yes. Yeah, because I'm sure we've all experienced Anon hate before, so we don't want to experience it again. So, yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, that's it for now. So, next podcast will be in 2 weeks from now, and we will be answering questions and also discussing random things about Blue Exorcist while we anticipate chapter 96. So, until then, have a good night and take care. Bye!
Bye, everybody.
Bye.